So today I'm going to be sorting through my brushes using merge sort. I'm going to start by setting my parameters. So my low will be 0 because that's what we're starting out with, and my high will be 7, which is the number of brushes I have, 8 minus 1, and my midpoint will be 3. So I'm going to section this off into 2. So I'll just start with the right one here. So then my low for this one would be 4, and my high would be 7, my midpoint would be 5, so I'm going to split this up as well, and I'm going to split these two up using the same method. So split, 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 split. I'm going to do the same for my other 4 brushes. So my low is 0, high is 3, midpoint is 1, split, split, and then split, split. So now each brush is in their own array of length 1. I'll start with this one here because now we're going to be merging them. So you can see that I'm going to check to see if my first array is exhausted. No, because we still have one brush left in that array. So we're going to check to see if this is less than the first element of our second array. And it is, so we're going to copy it in. And we can see that our first array is already exhausted because we already went through our first array of 1, so we're just going to copy in the rest of our second array. So we have this copied in right now. So then we have these two arrays that we're going to merge together, and we're going to see if the first element of the first array is exhausted, and it's not. So we're going to compare it to the first element of our second array. And we can see that 5 is actually greater than 3, so we need to copy it, the first element of the second array first. So we're going to do that. And since our first array isn't exhausted, but our second one is, so we're just going to copy that in. So now these two are merged. We're going to finish merging this way. And so we have our 7 and 9. 7 is less than 9, so we can copy it in as is. 7 and 9, these two are merged. Now here we have our 6 and 11. These two are good as is, so we're going to just copy them like this. So now we're going to merge these two arrays together. So we're going to take the first element of the first array and compare it to the first element of the second array. So 1, the first element of our first array, is less than the first element of our second array, so we're going to copy it in with our first brush in there like that. So now we're going to go back to our first array, and we're going to take the second element of our first array. We see that this one is actually less than the first element of our second array, so we're going to pass in this one into our final array. And then, so what we're left with is still we haven't exhausted our first array, so we're going to test this against the second element of our second array, and we see that the second element of the second array is smaller, so we're going to copy that in, and since the second array is exhausted, we're just going to copy in the rest of the first array. So now these 4 are sorted. We're going to go here. We have our first array, second array, and we're going to see, so our first brush is going to be compared with the first brush of the second pile, and the second one's first brush is actually smaller, so we're going to copy that in. So now we're still going back to our first brush of the first group, and we're going to test it against this one. Which one's smaller? This one, so we're going to copy it in here. We haven't exhausted our first array, so we're going to keep on searching in there. We have our brush 9 with a value of 9 compared to this. This one is smaller. I'm going to copy that in, and we're exhausted, so we're going to finish with this. Okay, so now we finally have 2 groups left, and we're just going to sort this. First element of the first group is a 1 compared to a 6. The 1 is going to be copied in. We're going to continue in the first group. Our 3 is less than a 6, so we're going to copy that in. Our 5 is less than a 6 as well. We're going to copy that in. Our 8 is not bigger than our 6, so we're going to copy our 6 in. Our 8 is not less than the first remaining element of our second array, so we're going to pass that in. And again, our 8 compared to a 9, 8 is smaller this time, so we're going to copy that in. And now our first array is exhausted, so we can just copy in the rest of our second array. And now all the brushes are sorted.